C1 championship game. It's the Columbus Scotus Shamrocks and the Grand Island Central Catholic Crusaders. This Nebraska ETV Sports Exclusive is brought to you in part by viewers like you, who are financial contributors to Nebraskans for Public Television. Hello everyone, I'm Steve Roth, and we're looking for another great matchup between two teams that have seen each other many times before. This is the fourth straight year that Columbus Scotus and Grand Island Central Catholic have met each other for a state title. GICC won the first two. Last year, it was Columbus Scotus coming out the victors, and they have not lost the last 2 years. Many consider this Columbus Scotus team one of the very best in the country, and certainly there's some awful good teams in the state that feel they're just as good, but we'll see how good Columbus Scotus is. Joining me again is Kathy DeBoer-Wieskamp, the former All-American at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And Kathy, this is a couple of teams you've seen before. Two outstanding coaches, two outstanding programs. Grand Island Central Catholic, I think if you look at their record and everything they've done in the state, maybe the best program consistently in the state, but they've got their hands full tonight.
Yeah, Columbus Scotus is really playing strong. Grand Island Central Catholic's only losses this year are to Scotus, and that's been 3 times this season. And so I'm sure it's difficult to beat a team more than several times in a row. So I'm sure they're looking for the opportunity to avenge those losses. But Scotus is really tough. They've got a very balanced attack. They've got 4 hitters hitting over 100 with 100 kills plus this season. And so it's going to be a great match, I think. Anytime these two teams are together, it's a great match.
Kathy, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. You're a coach at Lincoln Southeast, a Class A school, and a lot of people say Columbus Scotus, how good are they? Could they play in Class A? Do you feel that they can play in any class?
They're very strong, and I know it's a Class A being there again. It's a tough day in and day out. You're meeting tough teams. We saw that too, different teams than we anticipated maybe being in the finals this year as well. I think they would play well in there. I don't know how they would do playing that schedule day in and day out, but they definitely have the talent to beat teams in Class A and compete at that level as well.
Of course, the Class A champion, which we saw earlier today in Bellevue West, ranked very high in the national rankings. Actually, I believe they're ranked 16th, and I think Scotus is ranked a couple spots higher. I can't remember. So Scotus might actually have a little higher ranking, but who knows how that will change. And I don't think the national people see these teams enough to know. But Bellevue West, certainly an outstanding team, another really great program. But Columbus Scotus, I think the thing that stands out is they have 2 players that will probably play Division I next year. One is already committed, going to go to Northwestern, and that's Carmen Burbach. The other, Audrey Pfeiffer, I don't believe has decided for sure where she's going.
Well, and I think it would be, you know, I'm sure they'd love the opportunity to play against and compete against a level. Always when you got a strong team, you know, it's nice to play against other tough teams. That only makes you better, and you can learn from that. Anytime you have a loss or you play against a tougher team, you really see what you're made of and that kind of thing. And so this Columbus Scotus team has some really great players, and again, you'll see some really dynamic things from them tonight.
On the other side of the coin, Grand Island Central Catholic, 25-3. Guess who the 3 losses are to? They are all to Columbus Scotus. Makes it tough having played them 3 times this year. I hear coaches say they don't like to play the same team so many times. What's your feeling on that as a coach? Do you think it's tough to continue to play the same team?
It can go 2 ways. A team can have the advantage of we've lost to this team several times. We play tough, but we keep losing to them, you know. Or they can take that, make changes, learn from each time they play them. It's difficult to continue to beat a team several times over and over. And if you haven't changed something, the team that's lost has made some adjustments. You never know what's going to happen, and so I think you can learn from that, and it can go either way. It just depends how the players respond to it.
Sharon Zavala, the head coach of Grand Island Central Catholic, who is one of the most respected coaches in the state, made the comment that Columbus Scotus this year is the best team I've ever coached against, was the quote that I read, and that tells you the respect she has for that program and for that team. But I tell you what, she is such a good coach. I really look for Grand Island Central Catholic to make this a match.
Yeah, and again, I think both these programs do have a lot of respect for each other. They've both been here in the finals. Grand Island and Central Catholic has won 2 years. Columbus Scotus last year. Columbus Scotus is obviously favored. They beat Grand Island 3 times this year. But you never know. And again, that respect is there.
And of course, Columbus Scotus again going undefeated last year. They're undefeated so far this year, and they've been really a solid force and been very dominating this year. Well, let's go now to the state volleyball announcer, Barry Moore, for the Class C1 player introductions.
This year, their combined record is 54 wins and 3 losses. And we suggest that whoever you are, wherever you're from, you get up and give these girls a hand for what they've done this year and for where they are tonight. Their score is above home, and their record's 27 wins and 3 losses. Welcome, Grand Island Central Catholic. The non-starters are number 3, Tracy Hemmer. Number 8, Amy Janke. Number 9, Kaylin Riley. Number 10, Tiffany Peterson. Number 11, Mara O'Donnell. Number 14, Tara Peterson. Number 15, Allison Urbanski. Number 16, Sarah Stobie. The starters, number 1, Christy Medjo. Number 2, Casey Kogel. Number 4, Carol Wheat. Number 5, Emily Pfeiffer. Number 13, Heather Budd. Number 17, Jenny Kropp. The coach, Sharon Savala. The assistant coach, Mary Janke. The score under visitor, their record is 27 wins and no losses. Welcome, Columbus Scotus. The non-starters are number 1, Sarah Kuhneman. Number 2, Christy Corp. Number 4, Nikki Jaswick. Number 5, Jody Eichmeyer. Number 7, Julia Grennan. Number 10, Andrea Torson. Number 13, Steph Cruz. Number 14, Heather Van Ackeren. The starters, number 3, Stacy Roshi. Number 6, Holly Van Ackeren. Number 8, Carmen Burbach. Number 9, Rhea Wemhoff. Number 11, Julie Truba. Number 12, Audrey Pfeiffer. The coach, John Peterson. The assistants, Janet Tooley, Julie Blauser, Audra Jedliska. The officials, Ted Harshbarger and Karen Sloan. And now, let's play volleyball.
Well, we're about to see one of the best teams this state has produced in a long time in Columbus Scotus, but don't sell Grand Island Central Catholic short, because they are an outstanding program, an outstanding team who has only lost to Scotus. If they can stay in this game early, I think we're in for an exciting match. However, keep in mind, Columbus Scotus has lost only 1 game all year. Out of 27 matches, they lost 1 game. And other than the 1 game they lost, the most points they have given up is 12.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, and they're not playing easy teams. You know, there's some great teams here in the C1 class, and to have that type of record, that's pretty impressive.
Grand Island Central Catholic defeated Wayne 15-1, 15-5 in the opening round. In the semifinals, they had a tough one with Tri-County, 7-15, 15-6, and 16-14. And for Columbus Scotus, they had victories over Elkhorn Valley, 15-2, 15-4, and defeated Chadron 15-4, 15-2. So that shows the dominance of this Shamrock team from Columbus Scotus. Grand Island Central Catholic to serve first. As they get set in formations, they're ready to get underway here at Pershing Auditorium. And this C1 championship match is underway as the serve comes across by Heather Budd. The set is a little bit mishandled, and Scotus just has to knock it across as Kropp tries to knock it through the block and does. And Jenny Kropp, definitely the power hitter at 6'2", a junior for Central Catholic, and they take a 1-0 lead, and that's what they need, is to get some early momentum. So Heather Budd, the other solid hitter on this team, starts in the back row, and they keep Kropp in the front row. Scotus has hitters all over the place, so they can put them about anyway, as Rhea Wemhoff knocks it home and able to get side outs for Columbus Scotus.
Nice job. Rhea had that ball really in an unusual position. She really did a nice job getting her hand on the ball, keep it in play.
Wemhoff to serve now for the Shamrocks. The set put up by Pfeiffer and knocked home by the Crusaders of Grand Island Central Catholic, who get the side out.
Here you get a chance to see that again. Jenny Kropp is attacking from the outside here, just really drives and hits underneath the blocker's arms.
Casey Kogel with the serve, but a little strong. And if you're wondering, KC stands for Kansas City. That is her name, Kansas City Kogel. I double-checked, and I've heard that many times, as Roshi with the serve for Scotus, who lead it 1-0. The set put up by Pfeiffer, and the hit is too long. No, it wasn't. It was in. Excuse me. And Grand Island Central Catholic will have the side out.
Again, you'll see Kropp up there. She does a nice job, and she lands it right in the corner, right on that line.
Pfeiffer to serve for the Crusaders. Takes a look for the signal from Coach Zavala. Gets it into the middle, bumped up by Burbach. Knocked across by Scotus. Now Kropp again with a nice job of getting it over the attempted block. Up there high was Audrey Pfeiffer, and Kropp just nicely laid it over top. Didn't try to power it home, and really did a nice job.
Kropp's having fun out there. She's mixing up her attacks and finding open areas.
Crusaders lead it 2-0 as they have the serve, but just as I say that, it's knocked out of play by Emily Pfeiffer, and it's side out Columbus Scotus. Now Audrey Pfeiffer to the back row. A lot of Division I schools have been recruiting this 6'2" senior. He gets the serve across. Here's the set by Pfeiffer into the middle for the Crusaders, and put away by Central Catholic. I believe that was Heather Budd.
Nice job here. Again, that open area in the center of the court is a vulnerable area, and did a nice job placing it in front of the defenders.
Kropp with the serve for Central Catholic, who lead it 2-0. Here's a attempted hit that is blocked at the net. Tried to tip it across was Van Akron. She's blocked at the net, and a good job by Central Catholic, playing very well at the net. I believe Heather Budd was there solid at the net for Central Catholic, who lead it 3-0.
Doing a nice job here.
Kropp a little strong on the serve.
I think that's 3 missed serves already for Central Catholic.
Carmen Burbach, the 5'11" senior, who's headed to Northwestern next year on a volleyball scholarship, knocks it across for Columbus Scotus. Here's Heather Budd with a strong hit, and it hits the back line. Heather Budd, the second big hitter on this team. Heather only 5'10", but she's very quick to the ball.
And she's a lefty and does a nice job, hits over top the block, hits it in that area the block is protecting.
Christy Medjo to serve for Grand Island Central Catholic with a 3-0 lead. Tough serve. Scotus able to get the ball up. Nice hit by Julie Truba, who puts away the kill and gives the side out for Columbus Scotus.
Nice quick swing by Truba. She does a nice job, gets her hand up there really quick and really snaps that ball in play.
Holly Van Akron, the 5'8" junior for the Shamrocks. With the serve, Heather Budd sends it to the first row, and a nice hit through the block by Tracy Hemmer.
Nice job. She really just uses the blocker's hands and puts that spin we talked about when they're hitting not directly into it, but off to the sides, and that's getting her a kill. Sharon Sabata will do a lot of substituting as Carol Week comes in to serve for Central Catholic, to lead it 3-0. Here's attempted spike by Pfeiffer, goes into the net, and a point for GICC, who leads it 4-0. Week again to serve at 4-0. Nice cross-court serve picked up by the Shamrocks. Over to Wemhoff, who gets it across the net. Now the set to the middle. Budd tries to find the open spot. Dug out by the Shamrocks, but not able to handle it in the front row was Julie Truba. And another point for Grand Island Central Catholic, leading at 5-0. And Coach John Peterson says, I want a timeout. Grand Island Allen Central Catholic has come out really strong, been real aggressive. Jenny Kropp, front row. They haven't stopped her yet up there. She's now in the back row, and Heather Budd is taking over where she left off. Here you'll see that last play where Heather Budd is attacking, hits around the block, and Truba really turns around and isn't able to handle the ball. It was sent back at her too quick to handle.
One thing you'll see in this match and the match coming up, I want our volleyball fans to really watch the setters. You're going to see not just a lot of obvious sets, but they will set across court, they'll set to the back row, they'll set anywhere. There are some outstanding centers in these two championship matches that I think you'll really enjoy. And that was an example on that last replay we saw. Again, Central Catholic with a 5-0 lead has to give them some confidence as the Crusaders get set to serve. A week again to set it across. Scotus that time gets a chance to set their offense. A nice one by Wemhoff, but saved by Central Catholic, but Emily Pfeiffer can't hang on to it, knocks it out of play, and it's side out Columbus Scotus. We'll see some substituting now by John Peterson as he'll get Christy Korth, the 5'4" junior, in there to serve. Christy with 15 serve aces on the season. Has a tough serve there, but Crusaders able to handle. Knocked across by Hemmer, and Hemmer comes up with a kill. Hemmer at only 5'8", and I say only 5'8" because I remember when that used to be tall, but nowadays she's considered a short player, especially with this group. Heather Budd to serve for Grand Island Central Catholic, who lead at 5-0. Here's the set to Pfeiffer, who hits it across. Scotus able to dig it out. Again, knocked across by Rhea Wemhoff, and Central Catholic scrambling. Dug up nicely to Pfeiffer with a slam. Side out Scotus.
Great attack by Pfeiffer there. Audrey does a nice job. She's coming there quick. She's up above. She really uses her whole body and arm as she swings.
Scotus trying to get on the board, and again they send it long, so they're making a lot of miscues. That time it was Jody Eichmeyer that sent it long. It'll be side out Grand Island Central Catholic with a 5-0 lead here in the first game. Chapel won their second straight state championship just prior to this match in Class D1. Scotus gets it to the big hitter Pfeiffer. Audrey Pfeiffer, an all-stater a year ago, sure to be one again this year, a two-timer.
Here you get a chance to see it again. Really long arm up there over top and really snaps, pulls that arm through very quickly.
Served across by Roshi. The set to Medjo. Medjo gets it across, but Scotus keeps it alive. Again, Pfeiffer with the set to Kropp, who bangs it hard off of Wemhoff, who hits the deck. And it's side out Central Catholic, to lead at 5-0. And that time, Kropp says, I'm not going to be outdone.
Great attack by Jenny Kropp. And again, we're seeing a lot of fast arm swings, and that puts a lot of velocity on the ball.
Central Catholic leading at 5-0 here in the first game. To the front row. The set to Van Ekren, who is blocked at the net by Kropp, along with Allison Urbanski. And it's a 6-0 lead for Central Catholic, surprising one of the top teams in the country so far. Here in the first game of the state championship match, here's Pfeiffer, blocked at the net by Kropp and Urbanski. And point Central Catholic as they go up 7-0.
Pfeiffer was really trying to get out of the way as her team covered her attack that was blocked. She turned around, she placed her hand underneath the net, and they called it.
Serve comes across to Scotus. Back set to Pfeiffer. Hits the line. It's side out Columbus Scotus. I can't believe the Central Catholic crowd is so quiet with their team up 7-0. Maybe they're as shocked as everybody else, but they're very quiet across the way.
Pfeiffer's really playing well here for Scotus. Nice job up front attacking.
Audrey Pfeiffer with the serve. And now Central Catholic will just have to send it across. Free ball now to Scotus, as the hit by Burbach is dug out by Central Catholic. Tough fight at the net as Kropp just able to knock it across, and a couple of Scotus players collide, but they appear to be all right. And it's side out against the Central Catholic, who lead it 7-0.
Kropp's really doing a nice job when she's in the front row. And another thing that she's doing, she's celebrating when her team does successes. That really can get your team pumped up and motivate momentum on your side.
Nikki Jaswick in for Scotus as she reserves receives the serve. And Burbach blocked at the net, but able to knock it off the block. And Burbach gets the side out for Scotus, and she wins the serve.
Nice
Carmen
job.
Burbach.
Sees that outside hand and really works it over.
This set to Bud, who can't get it to drop. Now the tip try by Truba is good. And Scotus with their first point of game 1, trailing 7-1, and a bit of a surprise here early.
Nice job by Truba. She barely gets her fingers on here, but again, they've been attacking strong, aggressive. That's a nice change-up play.
Burbach is what?
No whistle yet. The official did not blow whistle.
Okay.
So that's just a replay.
So again, Burbach this time waits for the signal, sends the serve across with trailing 7-1. Central Catholic finding the open hole and do so, and that time it's Allison Urbanski, the 6-foot junior. A lot of juniors. In fact, there's only one senior on the Central Catholic team, and that's weak. Everybody else is junior or sophomore. A couple freshmen as well, in fact. As Christy Medjo gets set to serve with her team leading at 7-1. Scotus with the ball in their court. Just carried across by Truba. Central Catholic looking for the opening, and again, Urbanski with another kill. And Urbanski has played a good role at the front row.
Urbanski's doing a nice job. Here she goes up, roll shot, and they really catches them the block up early, and they pull it down in front of them.
Central Catholic leading at 8-1. Serve set across. Here's the set. Is blocked in front by Central Catholic, and Scotus unable to handle the return. Truba was blocked at the net very nicely, and the blocking of Central Catholic has been excellent. And the second timeout called by John Peterson in game number 1, with Scotus trailing 9-1. So Central Catholic doing everything right now.
They're really doing a nice job, and you're seeing players like Jenny Krupp really stepping up, doing some great things. And also, Allison Urbanski has come in and done some really nice things up in the front. Again, different types of hitters. The blockers need to adjust to whichever hitter's up there.
And I think, again, Sharon Zabela maybe has seen that a little bit, that they've had a trouble with a different type of hitter, and Urbanski, as you mentioned, has really stepped to the plate. But Grand Island Central Catholic, the most important thing for them is the fact they have now gained confidence leading at 9-1. Columbus Scotus, quite honestly, seems out of sync. They just are not playing the type of volleyball we have seen them play. And as I mentioned earlier, they have not given up more than 12 points except once this year. Central Catholic trying to change that as Christy Medjo gets set to serve for Central Catholic. Tough serve. Picked up to the front row. Here's the tip try by Wemhoff. Central Catholic returns it back over to Columbus Scotus. Wemhoff again sends it over. Picked up by the Crusaders. Knocked across by Himmer. And now powered across but out of bounds by Truba. And Central Catholic gets another point and goes into double figures, leading at 10-1.
Scotus is really trying to run a quick transition there, and Truba actually got in a little bit early, a little bit underneath the ball, and it's difficult in that situation to snap that ball and keep it in play.
Medjo had 25 ace serves on the season. Gets the serve here as a nice job of hitting the ball that time by Rio Wemhoff, and knocks it off the block. And Wemhoff gets the ball back for her team, who trail at 10-1. And Jody Eichmeyer now will serve for the Shamrocks. Kropp passes it up front. Now just sent across by Heather Budd. To the middle to Pfeiffer, but instead it actually goes cross court to Wemhoff, who knocks it across for Scotus. Here's Budd, carries it across. Over to Pfeiffer, who tips it. And Grand Island Central Catholic keeps it alive. Knocked to the back row. Scotus, nice set to Wemhoff. Central Catholic's Budd sets it up, and it hits the tape and falls across for the Crusaders. That time it was Tracy Hemmer on a nice set by Budd.
Sometimes you just get the roll, and she does. She hits the tape, but enough pace on the ball that it pops it over and lands in the open spot on the court.
Weak to serve for Central Catholic, who lead at 10-1 here on the first game of the state championship match. Wemhoff again sends it across. Hits the inline and gets a side out for Columbus Scotus.
Nice attack again. That's an area that middle back is being protected by the block. And Wimhoff does a nice job hitting over the block, takes a little bit off of it, and places it right into that middle back section.
Again, the substitutions, John Peterson using them freely here. Is the Christy Korth serves it for Columbus Scotus, who trail it 10-1. The set over to Wimhoff, who just has to knock it across on the third hit. Free ball for Central Catholic, kept alive by Scotus. Again, they have to knock it across, but it goes long. Scotus wanted a tip at the net. There was none, and Central Catholic gets it back, leading it 10-1. Heather Budd to serve for the Crusaders. They hold so many records. It would take a long time to tell you how many records they hold here at State. Central Catholic, I'm speaking of. Pfeiffer answers. Gets it back to Scotus, but Central Catholic has been here a record 17 times. They have 10 consecutive trips.
I really like Pfeiffer. She really drives the ball, uses her whole body, and does a nice line shot there, and is very successful.
Again, just knocked across by Emily Pfeiffer, Central Catholic, but then Central Catholic in the net. And it's a point for Columbus Scotus, who's trying to get on a roll, trailing at 10-2. Let's see if the Shamrock machine can get untracked. Served to the back row, just knocked across by Emily Pfeiffer, and she finds an opening. Kind of a sneaky job by the 5'7" junior for Grand Island Central Catholic.
Yeah, does a nice job. She just is real aggressive with, gets her hand up there, and again, that middle of the court area is a very vulnerable area if the players aren't ready to move.
Casey Kogel with the serve for Central Catholic. They lead it 10-2. Here's Pfeiffer with a tip over the block of Jenny Kropp. Nice choice that time by Pfeiffer. Audrey Pfeiffer, the 6'2" senior.
She's really doing a nice job. She's swinging really aggressively, and she set them up for that nice, easy tip play.
Tracy Hemmer to serve for Columbus Scotus, who trail by 8. And it's an 8 serve for Tracy Hemmer, a freshman for Coach John Peterson. Or excuse me, that's Stacy Roshi. I was looking at the wrong number. There's Stacy Roshi with the ace serve for Columbus, and Roshi now knocks it across. To Kropp, tip try, dug up by Scotus. Burbach hits the line and gets the point. 10-4, Central Catholic leads, but Scotus with the serve.
Great attack here by Burbach. All the blockers were squeezed into the middle. She does a nice job and then takes it down the line to make it even more difficult for the block.
Roshi, a 5'8" senior with the serve. Set by Pfeiffer. Kropp tries to kill it, but kept alive by Scotus. Tipped across by the Shamrocks. Ticked right back by Pfeiffer of Grand Island Central Catholic. And Pfeiffer gets the side out for the Crusaders, and she'll have the serve.
Great hustle by Christy Korth, but really Central Catholic sent that back quick enough. They weren't on their toes and were really just scrambling to get a touch on the ball.
10-4, Grand Island Central Catholic with the lead in the serve here in the first game of the C1 championship match. Burbach passes it to the front row and gets the hit, but kept alive by the Crusaders. Knocked long. Now let's see. They wanted a touch. They won't get his Medjo. Too strong with the hit, and it's side out Scotus as Pfeiffer gets set to serve for the Shamrocks. Scotus again just still hasn't looked real sharp here in the first game. Central Catholic doing a lot of things right so far. And there's another error, service error by Audrey Pfeiffer for Columbus Scotus. And that's really hurting them right now. And Jenny Kropp will get her chance to serve as she goes to the back line for Grand Island Central Catholic. Kropp with those long arms looks taller than her 6'2" listing, and she gets the ace serve and puts her team up 11-4.
Kropp's really doing a nice job. I'm really having fun watching her. She's out there having a great time.
Another tough serve by Kropp, dug out by Scotus. Burbach knocks it off the block, side out, Scotus.
Great job by Burbach. She passes that ball and then comes around and drives really aggressive to the ball. She's just really a smart hitter and sees the blocker's hands and really uses their hands to her advantage. Burbach will serve for Scotus, who trail it 11-4. Burbach sends it across. Kropp passes to the front row. Urbanski tried to dink it across, but it was blocked back. And another nice block by Grand Island Central Catholic. This time Heather Budd comes to the net
and gets the side out for her team.
Good job by Heather Budd. She's over there by herself and does a nice job on timing and setup.
11-4. Central Catholic leads it. They have the serve. Here's the set to Wemhoff, who able to come up with the kill. Wemhoff gets the kill for Columbus Scotus, and it's side out Shamrocks, who trail it 11-4. Jody Eichmeyer, the 5'7" senior, to serve for Columbus Scotus. Picked up by Medjo for Central Catholic, knocked across by Kogel, and Kogel will get the kill. And again, just a tough time of handling the ball. The ball handling not very good for Columbus Scotus at this point. And Central Catholic will serve at 11-4.
It's almost like Scotus is just a little bit hesitant, a little bit tight, and they just need to relax and get in their rhythm.
Amy Janke comes in to serve. First time we've seen her tonight. Here's Wemhoff, blocked at the net. Nicely by Heather Budd.
Heather Budd and Emily Pfeiffer combined for that block. A nice setup. Really doing a nice job. And really, they're keeping Columbus Scotus out of a rhythm here.
12-4, Central Catholic with the lead. First game of the C1 championship match. Front row it goes. Tried to knock it across by Truba, but she is blocked, but it goes out of bounds.
Nice attack by Truba. A lot of times blockers see that slide attack coming around, and they tend to float and move with them to the outside. Often they carry that ball out of bounds for the attacker.
Truba now will serve for Columbus Scotus, who trail at 12-4 here in the first game. Medjo gets it to the front. Scotus picks up nicely to Wemhoff, who just knocks it across. Crusaders trying to set up the offense. Dinked across by Central Catholic. Scotus over to Wemhoff. Finds an opening and kills it for the point. And it's 12-5.
Wemhoff is really taking advantage of that middle back. Both the defenders are in the corners trying to protect those. She's doing a nice job placing it in that open area.
Truba to serve for Columbus Scotus, who trail it 12-5. Heather Budd knocks it across for Grand Island Central Catholic. Over to Wemhoff, who knocked it out of bounds, and it's side out GICC up 12-5. Heather Budd to serve for the Crusaders. A bit of a surprise here in game number one. Like everybody thought Scotus might run away with it, but these two teams have met so many times before. Fourth straight time they met in a championship match. Central Catholic just knocking across free ball to Scotus. Let's see if they can take advantage. Wemhoff does not get a good set. Tipped back across, but out of bounds. And it goes side out to Columbus Scotus. Rhea Wemhoff, a 5'9" senior, to serve for Columbus Scotus. Into the middle, picked up nicely by Central Catholic. Prop tips it across and takes him off guard and gets the side out for Central Catholic, who lead at 12-5.
Nice job by Kropp. She takes this ball down the line. There is a tip defender there, but she puts it over top of her head, so she's got to try and turn and reach and get it. Great placement.
Casey Kogel with the serve for Grand Island Central Catholic. Set is over to Burbach, who powers it across. Now into the middle to Pfeiffer, who with the tip try. Set to Kropp, who also with the tip. Now to Burbach. She's blocked at the net, keeps it alive. Nice job by Burbach. Picked up by Central Catholic to Kropp with the kill. Jenny Kropp gets the point.
Jenny Kropp's really doing a nice job. She's up in the air quick. She's got that long arm, and she really does a nice job. Quickness of it and snaps very well.
13-5, Central Catholic with the lead over Columbus Scotus. The serve. A serve. A misread that time by Jody Eichmeyer for Columbus Scotus. Good job by Casey Kogel, and it's a 14-5 lead for Central Catholic. John Peterson has used his timeout, so he can't stop the bleeding here, and a chance for game point. First game point attempt by Casey Kogel now on the serve for Central Catholic. And Central Catholic will get a free ball here. The set to Kropp. Oh, they had a nice offense there, but good block by Burbach. Now the set to Pfeiffer, who slams it home.
Great attack by Pfeiffer. She does a really nice job. She gets a chance to drive to that ball. She can really hit the ball down sharply and cut off angles. Here you get a chance to see that again. Comes in. She really sends that ball sharp off the edge of the blocker.
The serve by Roshi. Set to the middle to Medjo. Medjo is blocked at the net, but Pfeiffer comes back, but they say knocked it out. No, they did say it was in. Okay, excuse me, it was in, and it's a point for Columbus Scotus. And the score 14-6.
Nice job, too, by Pfeiffer changing directions. She sent that to the right side this time.
Scotus trailing in this first game. Tough receive there by Central Catholic. Medjo knocks it across. Free ball to Scotus. Over to Pfeiffer. Short set is knocked out of play. And side out to Central Catholic with another game point opportunity. Emily Pfeiffer to serve. Pfeiffer, the 5'7" junior, has only missed 4 serves on the season. Gets this one in successfully. The set. Back to Burbach. Knocks it across. Pass to the front row nicely. Knocked across by Stobie for Central Catholic. Here's Kropp. Knocks it to the top of the tape. And blocked. It hit the tape and went out. And so now it's Columbus Scotus getting the side out. And Pfeiffer will serve with her team trailing 6-14. And that ball went out, just missed that inline, very, very close. That was a tough one to leave go. But again, the third game point opportunity now for Grand Island Central Catholic as Kropp gets set to serve for the Crusaders. Into the middle. Now back over to Truba. Truba knocks it across. Central Catholic's Heather Budd hits the floor and gets the game killer at 15-6. Big win for Central Catholic, only the second game that Scotus has lost all season, and decisively.
Grand Island Central Catholic really came out very strong and on fire in that first game. Again, they look like they had fun, totally relaxed out there. They've lost to Scotus 3 times this year. They've got nothing to lose. They came out there just doing what they do best. Jenny Kropp was very effective in the front row. And really dominated up there when she was in the front. And Heather Budd really complimented that when she came up, as well as Allison Urbanski. She came up front and did made some big plays for her team.
Again, Grand Island Central Catholic doing a great job. It's been a chance now to look at game point.
Here, Jenny Kropp, now she's in the back row serving really aggressively. And then she comes up with a big dig here as well. Then we've got Budd coming back, finishing again, making great shots, hitting the open areas. Nice.
Budd and Kropp really complimenting each other and doing a great job. As Heather Budd, I think she surprises me a little bit. She's a better hitter than her appearance would let you believe as far as size, and she's not that big arm swinger. I think she really finds the openings. Right,
and she's a left-hander. Again, it is different blocking against a left-handed person. You're looking at a different shoulder. You line up on the hitting shoulder, and here it's a different shoulder. These teams are aware of that, but in a game, if you don't pay attention, you can lose track of that. And I think that's part of it that also makes her effective.
Earlier today, Laurel Concord, Chapel, and Greeley completed undefeated seasons. As we take a look at the first game statistics, and the kills are pretty even, assists are pretty even. Really, everything's even there, but the score was not.
The stats don't really show, when are you getting those kills? Are you getting those kills for side outs? Are you getting them for points? And really, the Crusaders end up getting those kills when they have the service. So that's what makes a difference. The statistics really aren't showing that variance. I think Scotus just really didn't get into a rhythm in the first game. They didn't seem very smooth. Their ball handling, they were maybe a little bit hesitant on that and going for balls. And then in defense, where they're normally very strong, they're getting balls up, but not to that setter where they can transition back quickly at them.
Again, last year, Columbus Scotus defeated Grand Island Central Catholic for the C1 championship. The previous year, it was GICC with the C1 crown. And 3 years ago in Class B, the two teams met with Grand Island Central Catholic winning. So Scotus, I think, was thinking it was their turn, but right now they'll have to turn it on. And I think this very early part of this game 2 is going to be very, very important for the Shamrocks, because they have just not been able to get any momentum. And I think their question is, will the sleeping giant awake?
Well, and again, both these teams have a lot of respect for each other, and I'm sure they've both come into this match knowing it's not going to be easy, and it could be either team's game tonight. And so whoever puts their game plan together is going to be successful.
Coming up following this match, we'll have the Class B championship match between Lincoln Pius and Omaha Gross. Scotus to open up serving here in the second game. First game won by Grand Island Central Catholic. Prop, nice change of hands as she gets the ball across and comes up with the winner. And that'll be side out for Central Catholic. Great job and great decision making by Jenny Kropp.
Right, she's been playing really very strong up front tonight.
With her arms, she plays like 6'4". She really does. She's a very tall player. She's 6'2", but able to play like 6'4". And there's a point for Grand Island Central Catholic. This would be a shocker. I think even winning the first game is a bit of a surprise, to say the least. Tip try across by Scotus. At the net, Pfeiffer fakes, and then nice hit by Burbach, who gets the kill and the side out for Scotus, who lead at 1-0.
Nice shot by Burbach. She's really aggressive here. Comes in. The blockers aren't close. Very solid. She hits right through them. Nice job.
Roshi to serve. Tips the top of the tape. Side out, Central Catholic. Emily Pfeiffer now ready to serve it across for Grand Island Central Catholic, who actually came in as the third seed in this tournament at 25-3. Ogallala was the second seed, beaten, or not Ogallala, I'll get that to you in a second as Burbach comes up with the kill.
Great kill by Burbach. Here she is hitting from the backside and does a nice job hitting that line shot again.
Wood River was the second seed in this class. They were upset by Tri-County in the first round. Scotus with the serve, leading it 1-0. Pop is blocked at the net. Set to the middle now, just knocked across by Burbach. The set to Kropp. Terminates.
Great job by Kropp. Like I said, she's out there just having a ball. And that's what they need to do. And then she's very relaxed, and she sees where the blockers are, hits around them, finding open areas.
Jenny Kropp to serve now for Central Catholic. The set over to Burbach. Tips it across. Dug out nicely by the Crusaders. Here's a short set. Nice hit by Burbach, but again, a good job of receiving that hit. As Scotus trying to get the kill put away. And this time are successful. Carmen Burbach gets the ball for Columbus Scotus, who lead it 1-0 here in the second game.
Here you get a chance to see that again. She sees the hole there. The block isn't getting close, and she's doing a nice job hitting in that area.
And a tough serve receive, and I think that ball did go out of bounds. Christy Medjo couldn't handle that one very well. Burbach with a nice serve. Burbach with 39 ace serves on the season, and a very tough serve there. Tied at 1. As Heather Budd with the kill for Central Catholic.
Nice job by Budd. She does a good job and drives to the ball. Again, that left hand, she takes it actually around the outside blocker's hand into the court.
So now Christy Medjo, the 5'5" junior, with the serve for Central Catholic. We're all tied up at 1 apiece. And now we'll have a reserve.
Right, tight pass, and the blocker from Central Catholic was in the net, as well as the setter from Scotus, and so they're going to replay it. Both of them in simultaneous.
Central Catholic with a winning the first game rather handily over Columbus Scotus, and now trying to get their offense going. Urbanski knocks it across. Here's the set over to Wemhoff, who knocks it off the block. And it'll be side out Columbus Scotus.
Nice shot by Wemhoff. She had a nice solid block up there. Does what she can then in that situation is use their hands.
The serve by Columbus Scotus. Medjo with the double hit. And it'll go back to Scotus as the ace delivered by Holly Van Ackeren. Van Ackeren, a 5'8" junior, puts her team up 2-1. Another tough serve. Here's the set over to Heather Budd. And just No, did hit the line. I thought maybe she did.
Just catches it over there, I think.
The Scotus players fooled me, but they couldn't fool the linesman.
Nope.
The line judge right on the spot. And Central Catholic gets the ball back. Here's the set. Knocked across by Scotus. They couldn't quite get the set ready. And now tipped across by Heather Budd. Over to Wemhoff for Scotus. Central Catholic trying to find an opening. Nice block at the net, but it actually hit the net. 4 hits called on Central Catholic. Side out to Columbus Scotus. Scotus still has not looked real sharp in this match. They just haven't looked like the Scotus we've been seeing. Christy Korth with the serve for the Irish. And a tough serve again, and the serve received by Central Catholic's been a little shaky. And it's now a 3-1 score. Columbus Scotus on top. Christy Korth had 15 ace serves on the season. Another tough one. Picked up by Medjo. Gets it over to Hemmer, who has the block knocked out of bounds, and it's side out Central Catholic.
Nice attack by Hemmer. She does a good job again. She's got a big block across the net from her. And again, these players are making smart decisions. They see that big block and are trying to take advantage of it instead of being taken advantage of.
Scotus with a 3-1 lead. Hits it across. Here's Jenny Kropp back in the front row. Slams it right back. Pfeiffer finds an opening and puts it home for Scotus with the side out.
One-on-one situation there. You've got Pfeiffer against Kropp. Kropp's got to make a decision. She's going to block one way, and Pfeiffer saw and hit the opposite.
Serve comes across. Scotus leading it 3-1. Medjo picks it up nicely. Kropp now tries to get the kill, but is a little long with it, and the point goes to Columbus Scotus, who now go up 4-1. Again, Central Catholic won the first game 15-6, and Sharon Zavala, the Grand Island Central Catholic coach, wants a timeout to try to make sure this game doesn't get out of hand early, with Scotus leading at 4-1.
I'm sure she just tell them, just relax. You're doing a good job. Stay in there, stick with our game plan, you know, and be patient. There really isn't, you know, Columbus Scotus really isn't in sync yet either.
You know, neither team is really playing their best volleyball. We've seen a lot of great volleyball in the championship matches so far. I just wonder if it's kind of like, you know, as they would say, heavyweight fight, where they're really trying to feel each other out. They know each other well, but they're just not sure what to do. As Jenny Kropp tries to power one home and knocks it off the block, gets the side out for Grand Island Central Catholic, who lead it 4-1, and they'll have the serve. Again, the substituting continues quite frequently for both teams, as Casey Kogel, the 5'7" freshman, in to serve. The set over to Burbach, who's blocked by Jenny Kropp. Good job by Jenny Kropp, blocking Carmen Burbach at the net. And the point to Central Catholic, who trail at 4-2. Kogel, strong serve. Set to Burbach. Knocks it off the block, but kept alive by Central Catholic. Medjo just has to knock it across. The set to Pfeiffer, who tried to tip it across. Now another tip try, and really, Scotus just not getting the hard hits. But that time, Kropp does get the hard hit and knocks it home. And it's a 1-point game, 4-3. Columbus Scotus with the lead.
Here you'll see again, Kropp, she does a nice job. Turns, and she can really hit a sharp ball there with that quick arm.
Back set to Pfeiffer. Knocks it off the block of Kropp. Set to Kropp. She powers one across, but kept alive by Scotus. Here's Burbach hitting across. Kropp had it partially blocked. Now the set to Kropp. Short set, tips it across. Good decision, but Burbach keeps it alive for Columbus Scotus. Knocked across by the Shamrocks, out of bounds, as Van Akron too strong with it, and we're tied at 4.
Nice job again by Kropp. She really drove in. They tried to get a quick transition. The ball was a little bit low for her, so she did what she needed to with it and got a kill for her team.
Scotus gets it to Pfeiffer, who powers it home. Side out, Shamrocks. Score tied at 4.
Kropp right now is blocking by herself up there, and she's having to cover from sideline to sideline. Pfeiffer does a nice job running that slide around behind, making her travel.
serve by Stacy Roche. A tough serve and not handled very well, so Central Catholic just sends it across. Set over to Burbach, and able to get it home for the point, and a 1-point lead for Columbus Scotus, who has the serve. Roche, the 5'8" senior, to do the honors for the Shamrocks. Picked up by Central Catholic. Now Medjo knocks it past the block, as Scotus just has to knock it back across. They couldn't get the offense that time. Kropp does get the kill, though. She had a nice set. One thing I'm seeing is a lot of short sets from both teams because they have the good hitters. Right. And set it very short.
And that just speeds things up. The shorter set, the faster the transition, the less time to block, and the defense has to respond.
Central Catholic with the serve, trailing at 5-4, but now we're tied after the ace serve. Good job on the serve by Emily Pfeiffer, a 5'7" junior. For Grand Island Central Catholic, who won the first game 15-6, and not only was it surprising they won it, but in the fashion in which they won that game. Another good serve, and Scotus having some trouble on the serve receive. Pfeiffer knocks it across. Back set. Urbanski with the kill. I think they were caught off guard by the back set. Beautiful back set by Grand Island Central Catholic.
And Urbanski again does a great job. That middle of the court, that vulnerable area. You don't have to hit it hard to always get the kill. It's just smart and placement.
Central Catholic leads it 6-5. Columbus Scotus back set and caught Burbach by surprise. She wasn't quite ready. Kropp knocks it over for Central Catholic. Over to Burbach again, is blocked at the net. Urbanski sets Kropp, and Kropp got her timing off and knocked it into the net. Just off timing, she knew it immediately.
Yeah, Kropp came in a little bit early, and if you're on your way down, it's difficult to swing at it. Your body's fighting against yourself.
6-5, Central Catholic leads it. Scotus with the serve. Emily Pfeiffer to have the honors. Pfeiffer, strong serve. Over to Kropp on the short set. Gets it home. And again, some great setting by Central Catholic, and I think that's been the key to this game.
Well, and they've run the quick transition at smart times, and when they've had good passes, Kropp's up there, and she really converts on those. And right now, again, it's keeping Scotus out of their rhythm.
Tiffany Peterson comes in to serve for Jenny Kropp. Peterson, a 5'9" sophomore, with her team leading at 6-5. The set to Burbach on the far side, gets an opening and slams it home.
Burbach's really working hard for the Scotus team up front. She's really doing a nice job trying to get her team points. She's using her effective attacking side outs that are really not scoring a lot with her up there.
Been a tough game so far as Burbach gets the serve for Scotus. Kropp bumps it up front. Now to Urbanski, sends it across. Burbach gets it to the setter. Truba sends it back across. The set to Bud with the hard hit, but dug out by Scotus. Again, Wemhoff sending it across. Bud able to find the back line. Side out, Grand Island Central Catholic.
Great attack by Bud. Again, she's using those edges of the blockers, and that she's hitting from a little different area, a little bit farther to the left. It's hitting their hands, and it's landing in those open spots as well.
Christine Medjo ready to serve it for Grand Island Central Catholic. Her team won the first game and lead the second game 6-5. Columbus Scotus, an outstanding team with a long winning streak, in jeopardy here as that hit goes a little long. It'll be side out Columbus Scotus.
Tracy Hammer just caught that a little bit low, and on the back of the ball, it's difficult to keep that in play without taking some speed off of it.
Holly Van Akron with the serve. Dug out by Kropp, and now they'll call an illegal hit against Grand Island Central Catholic, and the point to Columbus Scotus as they tie it up at 6. Holly Van Akron to serve for the Shamrocks. The set over to Heather Budd, the left-hander. Sends it across, dug out by Burbach. Wemhoff blocked at the net. And it's good. Good job again by Urbanski and Bud blocking at the net to get the side out for Grand Island Central Catholic.
Nice job. Bud comes in. She's a little bit late on the block, but gets over there and really pushes with the shoulders. Blocks that ball right on the baseline.
Carol Week with the serve for Central Catholic. Back set to Pfeiffer. She sends it across. Central Catholic keeps it alive. Bud tried to tip it, but had a bad opportunity there, and it's Columbus Scotus with the side out.
Bud tried to kind of take that ball, face one direction, and turn 180 and send it the other way. It's a very difficult play to make.
Christy Korth coming back in to serve for Columbus Scotus. Again, Central Catholic won the first game, 15-6. Here's the back set to Bud. Again, a little bit of a missed timing on that one. Point for Columbus Scotus as they go up 7-6. Again, neither team playing their best volleyball. Christy Korth with the serve. The hit a little strong by Himmer. And another point for Scotus, who go up by 2. And timeout, Sharon Savella of Grand Island Central Catholic wants to talk it over. And I think last time her timeout proved to be very timely, and we'll see what happens here. Again, earlier today, we had Bellevue West defeating Bellevue East for the Class A championship. Bellevue West, I think, was their 4th straight title. 5th straight title. Boy, I better get that right or I'll hear from them. In Class C2, Laurel Concord finished up an unbeaten season with a win over Sandy Creek. Class D1, which we had an opportunity to see before this match. Chapel got their 2nd straight state title, remained unbeaten by defeating Polk Cordell in an exciting 3-game match. And in Class D2, Greeley defeated unbeaten Lewiston for the D2 state title. Here's Grand Island Central Catholic on the receive, tipped across by Scotus. Over to Heather Budd, tips it back over the block. The set over to Wemhoff, looking for an opening. Oh, a tip try by Emily Pfeiffer didn't work. And the point for Columbus Scotus as they lead it now 9-6 here in the 2nd game. Trailing 1-0 to Grand Island Central Catholic. Korth with the serve. Dug out by Midjo, but knocked right back across on it. But an illegal hit now called on Grand Island Central Catholic. Good job at the net by Wemhoff. Tough serve. Dug out by Pfeiffer. Sent across by Heather Budd. And a double hit called on Columbus Scotus. Side out Grand Island Central Catholic.
Stacey Roche trying to take that over, and it's really tight, and she really kind of got trapped by the net.
Heather Budd is too strong on the serve. Boy, they can ill afford that. And Columbus Scotus will get it back, leading it 10-6. Rhea Wemhoff, the 5'9" senior, sometimes overlooked on this team because of Truba and Burbach and Pfeiffer. Oh, that serve looked like it was going out. Kropp trying to keep it alive and has trouble with the ball handling. And another point for Scotus, who go up 11-6. And I think Central Catholic doesn't want to go a 3rd game. I just think that wouldn't be to their advantage. Tough serve again, and that one was again close to that back line.
She's standing on the back line. Those balls really have to be out.
Here's Burbach with the smash.
Here you get a chance again to see Burbach. It's just such a strong hitter. Again, she's swinging quickly and getting it there before the block is closed and set up.
12-6. Columbus Scotus leading Grand Island Central Catholic. Central Catholic won the first game 15-6. We're in the 2nd game as Kropp knocks it off the block and gets the side out for the Crusaders.
And hit that ball so hard, her gums flew out of her mouth. Catches it.
So what happened to the gum? Hope
she caught it and put it right back in.
Oh, she caught it. I was going to say, I hope it didn't go on the floor, and she picked it back up and put it back in. Kogel with the serve for Central Catholic. Back set to Pfeiffer, who hits it into the net with a little bit of mistiming there.
Yeah, she's a little bit early on that attack, and again, when you're on your way down, it's difficult to keep that ball out of the net.
12-7, Columbus Scotus leading Central Catholic. The set to Pfeiffer. Strong hit. Is not handled by Bud. Side out Scotus. Well, this afternoon session, we had 3 2-game matches so far. We've had 1 3-game match in this evening session, and we might be headed to one here as Pfeiffer blocks it to the floor. And it's 13-7 Columbus Scotus.
Great job by Pfeiffer. She just has to place it in the right area. Instead of pushing it forward, she just pushes it off to the side there. Gets a nice easy kill on that.
Central Catholic sets it over to Kropp. Blocked nicely by Pfeiffer at the net. Back to Kropp. Tips it across the block. Dug out by Scotus. Over to Burbach, who knocks it through the block. And it's a 14-7 lead for Scotus.
Burbach does a nice job here. You'll see the block is there. Really hits it off the two. The block timing was really not together.
Game point serve attempt for Scotus. Over to Kropp. Off the block. Dug out. And Kropp blocks back. Knocks it to the floor and gets a side out for the Crusaders. Boy, Jenny Kropp never gave up on that ball.
Right, she really stays focused and really reads situations very well. And goes up, and she goes up 100% and very strong. You get a chance to see her push that back right at her.
The serve by Central Catholic. Set to Burbach, who powers it across. Side out again to Scotus with another game point opportunity and a chance to send it to 3. Pfeiffer to serve for Columbus Scotus. Trying to stay alive here in the C1 championship game. Kropp powers it across, and Pfeiffer unable to handle it. Will go back to Grand Island Central Catholic. Yeah, they're not dying here.
Oh, they're staying with it.
Steve Roth alongside me is Kathy DeBoer-Wieskamp here in the 5th of 6 title matches. I know your husband's a marathoner, but I think you'll win the marathon award today, Kathy. Doing all 6 matches. A tough serve that time by Kropp, and another game point opportunity coming up. Burbach to serve for the game. And just long. That missed by about an inch. And Central Catholic will have another opportunity to try to get back into this game, trailing 14-7. Central Catholic won the first game 15-6. Medjo to serve for the Crusaders. Set to Wemhoff, who didn't have a chance at, just had to set it across. Now here's Heather Budd with the kill for Central Catholic.
But does a nice job. She's one-on-one at the block here with Pfeiffer. She just does a good job hitting it off the arms of the large block.
14-8. Scotus leads the second game as Wemhoff sends it across, dug out by Kropp. Knocked across by Budd. Barely kept alive by Scotus. Now the set for Central Catholic, and a nice hit by Tracy Hemmer, who gets the kill and the point. And Central Catholic has closed to within 5 at 14-9, and John Peterson wants a timeout. 3 game points have been fought off now by Central Catholic. It's paid off for them.
Right, and right now they're doing some really nice things, being aggressive and working to get some points on the board and make this, trying to finish this in 2. And Columbus Scotus is really just needs to be patient here and know that they are sitting on 14.
Again, Grand Island Central Catholic has 3 losses in the year, all 3 to Columbus Scotus. But Central Catholic, one of the premier programs in volleyball in the state. They've won 6 titles. They've been to 9 title games. And they've been to state 17 years, their 10th consecutive year. What more can you say? But what a job Sharon Zavala does.
That's quite a resume there for the Central Catholic program.
And John Peterson has done a great job with the Scotus team. By the way, they are also the defending champs in C1 and state basketball. They're very proud of that fact. Went undefeated in basketball last year, and their goal this year was to have a double-double But right now, that double-double in jeopardy as Medjo with the serve. By Wemhoff for Scotus. Scotus with the set to Pfeiffer. She gets it through Bud's block. And it's side out to Scotus. They'll have another game point opportunity at 14-9.
Nice job by Truba getting in on that quick transition. That really gives them an advantage. The blockers don't have as much time.
Holly Van Akron for the Shamrocks, mishit it. For some reason, just the way she went back there, I had a feeling that was going to happen. You could just kind of read that she wasn't real confident at that serve. So another game point fought off. And Grand Island Central Catholic trailing by 5. As Genke with the serve. Here's Wemhoff with the kill for Columbus Scotus. It's side out Shamrocks. And game point number 5 coming up.
Wemhoff really does a nice job. She tends to hit either at hard line shot, or she makes a smart placement in the middle back in the open area.
See what Julie Truba can do on her serve. Nice tough serve, and that's the game. We'll go to 3. 15-9 the final in game 2. And we'll have a third coming up. And again, I think that gives the advantage to Scotus because they still haven't played well. And you got to feel that if they start playing well, it's going to make it tough. But Central Catholic, to give them credit, even though they got behind quite a bit in the second game, they didn't give up. And they really stayed tough in the second game.
Right, and I think Scotus really kind of got on a run there, and Central Catholic really kind of stifled them there. They held them at game point 4 times, I believe, in a row, and they maintained scoring during that time and put a little bit of pressure on the Scotus team, but Scotus holds out and finishes it off with a tough ace serve.
Coming up next, we will have the Class D championship game between Lincoln Pius and Omaha Gross. A couple of very solid teams, pretty evenly matched. Lincoln Pius would be a slight favorite there. Earlier today, Bellevue West won Class A, and Class C2 it was Laurel Concord. In D1, Chapel, and in D2, Greeley. Those were your state champions crowned so far.
Here we get a chance again to see that game point. Tough serve here. Nice ace serve, and gets him that final and 15th point after the 5th try.
Grand Island Central Catholic has really come out strong. And again, you take a look at the game stats, pretty even, just like we saw in the first. The score doesn't reflect that, but in the first game we had very even stats, and we have them again here.
Yeah, both kills, 14 and 13. I believe we were 17 and 16 in the first game. Again, the key is what times are those happening, when you have the serve or when you're trying to get the side out, and that makes a difference. I thought Julie Truba, Carmen Burbach did a really good job in this second game, really stepping up and getting her team points when they did have the serve and being aggressive with her attack up there.
One thing we have not seen very good serving nor very good serve receiving by either team, and that's where they both have kind of had a little trouble. We've seen some missed timing. Neither team is really at their sharpest. For those of you who are watching, maybe you've seen these teams this year and they haven't played very well. And if you haven't seen them, you might say, well, geez, they're not as good as I've been bragging them up. Believe me, they are. They just have not played very well. In some of our other title matches, we've seen some great play today, and some of the other ones not quite as great. Sometimes that happens. I think that's been the case tonight. And again, I kind of wonder if it's because they played each other so many times. They're just trying to feel each other out and try to find some kind of opening.
Yeah, and again, it's each day and each match that you play is different. And again, it's really the mentality of the players. How do they handle that? Those kind of things. How do they handle up and downs? They know this is the finals. This could be our last game. Those types of things. This is for the championship. And all those are factored in. And really, we haven't seen either team really get into a rhythm tonight.
I should mention, since some of us did not get to listen to the Nebraska game today, they did win, but I didn't hear the final score. I know they won big over Iowa State. We'll get that to you later. Oh, tough serve, but it goes out. Heather Budd tried to get this third game off to a good foot, but that would have been a tough serve to have stayed in, but just missed. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it certainly was interesting. Scotus now will have the side out. as Wemhoff sends it across. Central Catholic gives a free ball to Scotus. And mishit again by Pfeiffer. There's just the timing is not there between Pfeiffer and the setter of Roshi. Inside out against, again, for Central Catholic. Nice hit, and the power hit that time by Carmen Burbach. Inside out to Scotus, so they're going to trade blows a little bit here.
Burbach again does a nice job. She really sees the situation very well. Again, there's a hole in the block, and she just takes it right in that seam.
She'll be a Wildcat at Northwestern University next year, and you can see why they wanted her. And again, tough receiving by Scotus. They just did not handle that very well. A tough job by Roshi. She just kind of knocked the ball forward, hoping somebody could get it. They could not. And we still stay on the goose eggs here in game 3. Central Catholic, Emily Pfeiffer to serve. The set to Burbach. Is able to hit the line and keep it in and get the side out back for the Shamrocks.
Nice job by Burbach. She is hitting out of the middle here, and again, then you hit off to the sides and angles, and she does a nice job here. She's appeared several different places along the net today.
Now imagine that team when they're on all cylinders have 4 gals that can hit like that, and then you'll know why Scotus has been tough. But now Central Catholic comes back with a strong hit, and they get the side out. So it appears we're headed for a tough third game. These two teams really doing the battle. Croft with a strong serve, barely dug out by Pfeiffer. Scotus now has to send it across and give the free ball to Central Catholic, and Bud terminates.
Nice job by Bud. She comes in, and again, sharp angle attack with that left hand. Very effective here. Defense really wasn't even ready to make a play on the ball.
And I think she can really fool you. Again, she's a better hitter than sometimes she appears. Knocked to the front row for Central Catholic, who lead at 1-0. Medjo gets it through the block, but Scotus keeps it alive. Wemhoff sends it across for the Shamrocks. Over to the right side to Urbanski. And a tough hit by the Shamrocks. I think it was Burbach. Was she the one that got that one?
Again, just a smart attacker here. She takes it down the line again, changing it up, reading her situation.
Burbach with the serve for Columbus Scotus, who lead at 1-0. Set to the middle, Urbanski with a strong hit and the kill for Grand Island Central Catholic.
Urbanski doesn't have the power that you see from Croft or Bud, but that's, again, it's a different type of an attack. She places it very well. She puts it in the deep corner. No defender there. She's dropped it in the middle. Really smart plays.
Medjo with the serve for Grand Island Central Catholic. Trying to finish it off was Truba. Now to the middle to Bud with the tip try. Kept alive. Tipped back across by Columbus Scotus. Medjo keeps it alive. And that looked in to me, and it was, yes. The line judge is trying to get in position. Good job by the line judge on the far end.
Nice job. All the defense is off to the left side, and that whole right back is open.
2-0 lead for Grand Island Central Catholic. I think I misspoke earlier and said Scotus had the lead, but it's 2-0 Grand Island Central Catholic. Here's the set for Scotus. Tough hit across the line. Tipped into the middle, dug out by Central Catholic. Medjo knocks it across to the Crusader. Burbach keeps it alive. Wemhoff sends it across for the Shamrocks. Central Catholic the other way. It's Hemmer for the Crusaders. Back into the middle. Tough hit, blocked up and kept alive by the Crusaders. Knocked across by Pfeiffer. And Wemhoff able to hit the line and get the side out for Columbus Scotus, who trail it by 2.
Great rally by both teams. A lot of good defense, and really stayed with it there, and ends up with a nice attack by Wemhoff.
Holly Van Akron to serve for Columbus Scotus on a 55 match win streak. Being threatened here in the title match. Nice block by Pfeiffer and Wemhoff for Scotus. Wemhoff with the kill and the point to make it a 2-1 Grand Island Central Catholic lead.
Ball's hitting the tape and it's bouncing off. It's a difficult, you don't know where it's going to go. You just got to pursue those balls.
Oh, a knuckler by Van Ackeren. Central Catholic gets the kill from Hemmer. No, man, it was close. Looked like it almost got that antenna. It did not. It stayed alive, and Columbus Scotus gets the point to tie it up at 2. It fooled me, but Scotus not fooled. They stayed right with it. Here's Van Ackeren again with the serve. Prop keeps it alive and sends it to the front row. Knocked across by Heather Budd. A net violation on Columbus Scotus side out Grand Island Central Catholic. Well, I wonder if any other high school sport in Nebraska has had the same 2 teams in the state final 4 years in a row. That is unbelievable to me.
Quite a tradition.
Here's the set. Over to Hemmer, who can't keep it in bounds. And it's side out Columbus Scotus.
Hemmer really didn't get off the net in that situation to drive the ball. She's standing up there. The ball is set right back at her, and it's difficult to keep that in if you don't have that strong approach.
There's Christy Korth to serve for Columbus Scotus. The set over to Heather Budd. She's blocked at the net, tries to keep it alive, and does so. Nice job by Heather Budd. Scotus now tipping it across. As Central Catholic tries to find Budd again, and she tried to just tip it across and had no success that time. And point for Columbus Scotus, who go up 3-2 here in the 3rd game.
Budd has tried that several times where she two-hand tips it to an area. The ball tends to get a little low on her, and she hasn't been very successful with it because of that.
Just knocked back across by Carol Week for Grand Island Central Catholic. Wemhoff trying to get the kill and does so, and gives her team a 4-2 lead.
Wemhoff is doing a really nice job here. She's really come up here in the last series through the front row for her. Just being really aggressive. She hits, again, a nice line shot, as well as that middle back 6th area of the court. She places it there very well.
Kathy Wieskamp, tell me a little bit about your strategies as a coach, trying to decide when to take that timeout. Here we are in the 3rd game. We're at 4-2. You get 2 timeouts per game. What's the strategy involved?
It just depends. I think different situations pick different things. I think right now they want to make sure this doesn't get out of hand, keep kids on confident.
Oh, ace serve for Columbus Scotus's Christy Korth. The 5'4" junior comes through and makes it a 5-2 Scotus lead. Another tough serve picked up by Medjo of Central Catholic. Now they are a little out of sync as Heather Budd tried to kill it, but they just got out of serve, and the serve set that up. Christy Korth, really a tough serve.
Yeah, she served 2 tough balls here after this timeout.
That one picked up a little easier by Medjo. The set over to Budd. Able to get the kill as it was tipped at the net. And Heather Budd now will serve for Central Catholic, who trail at 6-2. Oh, another knuckler in the ace by Heather Budd.
Nice spot. That's a tough ball to pass. It's short. It's also traveling towards the outer edge of the court. Player really needs to get around that and push it back. That's a nice serve.
Tries it again. This time goes a little long with it. Maybe not, maybe a little ill-advised with her team trailing 6-3. At this point, they kind of need to have all the serves they can get. When you're leading, it's a little different. But Wemhoff now to serve for Columbus Scotus. Pass to the front row. That's Prop. Trying to get it across, but it hit. That's what I thought. It hit the tape and really wasn't blocked. And that was 4 hits then on Central Catholic. And a point for Columbus Scotus, who go up 7-3. And kind of a danger point right now for Grand Island Central Catholic, who won the 1st game, lost the 2nd game, and we're in the 3rd of this championship match. Prop knocks it across and out. And Scotus now goes up 8-3. And I think Sharon Zavala thinks it's time to use that 2nd timeout and does so.
Really right now, the Central Catholic is making their own errors. And that's really what's hurting them. I think she's trying to just settle them down. I think they've looked at the scoreboard a couple times. I saw a couple players checking that out. They just need to really focus on 1 point at a time this play. And if they can eliminate some of their own errors, they can still get back into this.
I wish I could read John Peterson's mind right now, the coach for Columbus Scotus. He's got to be thinking, you know, we just aren't playing very well, and yet we've got a shot to win this. And there's so much pressure if they don't win. you know, he will certainly hear a lot about it, you know, being considered one of the best teams, not only in the state, but in the country as well, ranked, I think, like 16th or so in the country. But right now, his team leading 8-3 here in the third and deciding game, and all he wants to do is get a win. Wemhoff to serve, and serves long, and a good timeout by Central Catholic. She airmailed that one, and it will give the side out to Central Catholic, who trail at 8-3. And they will bring in Casey Kogel, the freshman, to serve. She serves it pretty tough. Backs up to Pfeiffer, who tried to tip it across, but Kropp is there for the block. And point to Crusaders, who trail at 8-4.
Nice job by Kropp. She gets her hand right on that ball and really pushes it over.
Tough serve. Dug out by Scotus. Pfeiffer with the kill.
Here you see Pfeiffer on the outside attacking. She does a nice job. She really drives to the ball out there, and that makes her more effective when she can drive to the ball. The
serve receive set up that side out opportunity for Columbus Scotus, who lead at 8-4. Central Catholic, Kenny Kropp sends it back across the net. Scotus now tries to set it up far side to Burbach, but dug out by Central Catholic. Back to the front row. Here's the back set for Scotus. Central Catholic keeps it alive, but Burbach blocks it home for the point, and a 9-4 Columbus Scotus lead. Burbach has really been the workhorse for Columbus Scotus.
Well, in that matchup with Burbach going up against Pfeiffer, Burbach is a little bigger up there, and she jumps well, does a nice job there, but Burbach's really played strong for the Columbus team tonight.
Stacy Roshi to serve for Columbus Scotus, who lead at 9-4. Medjo gets it up to the front. Now Kropp blocked at the net, and Jenny Kropp able to get it through the block and power it home. And will give the side out to Emily Pfeiffer.
Here you get a chance to see that again. Kropp does a nice job. She really drives to the ball, actually pushes, almost knocks the blocker over.
Grand Island Central Catholic trying to get back into it, trailing by 5. They have the serve. Burbach knocks it off of Jimmy Kropp's hands and side out back to Scotus. So again, it's Burbach who is starting to click and taking the Shamrocks on her shoulders and carrying them in this game.
Here you'll see again, Kropp is blocking from the middle to this left side, and she's blocking over here all by herself.
Central Catholic's Jenny Kropp trying to get the hit home, unable to do so. Burbach tips it across, kept alive beautifully by Medjo. Medjo now knocks it across to Central Catholic. Sent over to Burbach, off the block for the kill. And the point. And it's a 10-4 lead. And Sharon Zavala is out of timeouts, and I think at this point it hurts her a little bit.
And really, she's making some substitutions here. That's really all she can do to stop the momentum, try and make some changes, get her team to settle down a little bit.
Pfeiffer with the serve. Knocked up by Bud. And blocked across beautifully by Julie Truba. We haven't heard a lot from her. Truba's been kind of silent, and Truba, one of the big hitters on this team, a 6-foot senior.
Here you see again, it's a one-on-one situation. She reads the situation very well, and strong block up.
Right now, 4 points away from their second straight state championship is Columbus Scotus, but they're 4 tough points against a very stingy Grand Island Central Catholic team. Knocked across by the Crusaders. Tipped right back by Burbach. Kept alive by Kropp, but it's going to go out. And it's well, now they're saying it was tipped. I did not see that. They say it was tipped, and it'll go back to Central Catholic.
I think they said Holly Van Akron, it touched her as it came down, and Holly kept looking up at her. I think she looked like she must have got a finger on it.
Okay. So Central Catholic's Tiffany Peterson will serve it for the Crusaders, who desperately need to get some points. Burbach almost had it climb her arm. Crusaders keeping alive. Heather Budd will have to send it across. Free ball to Scotus with the set to Burbach. Tips it across over top of the block of Urbanski. Urbanski tries to keep it alive, cannot do so. Side out. Shamrocks and Burbach to serve. Carmen Burbach serving for Columbus Scotus, who lead at 11-4 here in the third game and deciding game of the C1 championship match. Tough serve. Kropp, however, able to keep it alive. Urbanski sends it across. Knocked over to Wemhoff, who's blocked, but it's blocked out of bounds. And it's 12-4. Columbus Scotus. Tough serve. Picked up by the Crusaders. Over to Bud, who is able to get the kill and the side out.
Nice job by Bud. Again, she takes a little bit off there, but places it into an area between some defenders and gets her team the ball back.
Up next, Class B state title game between Omaha Gross and Lincoln Pius. Right now, we're having a third game match between Central Catholic and Scotus. And Wemhoff trying to get it off the block, but kept alive by the Crusaders. Knocked across by Central Catholic. Here's Wemhoff with the kill attempt. Back to Scotus. And knocked in play. Beautiful job at the net by Truba.
Truba does a nice job here. She's again two blockers, but she comes to the inside of them, takes them to the left back corner.
12-4 Columbus Scotus with the lead and the serve. Medjo with the receive. Bud tries to spike it and able to get it to hit the inline. Great job by Heather Bud sticking with it. She had her first spike attempt blocked and then came back to her, and then she knocked it back across and able to keep it in play and get the side out for Grand Island Central Catholic, who trail it 12-4. The serve by Week comes up with the ace serve and the point. And it's 12-5. Scotus leading Grand Island Central Catholic. Week now looking for the signal from her coach Sharon Zavala, trying to see who to hit it to. Burbach knocks it up front. Nice kill by Truba. And she's coming alive now. I said we hadn't heard a lot from her, and since that time, she's had two great kills.
Yeah, and we've got just some different people up front. Burbach is rotated to the back. And so Truba's needed to step it up and keep the momentum on their side, and done a nice job.
Here comes Christy Korth, who's a tough server and gets a tough one there, but dug out nicely by Central Catholic. Heather Budd with the two-hand dink try. Back across, and Budd again. But we're going to have a net violation on Columbus Scotus, side out to Grand Island Central Catholic, who trail at 12-5. And again, that substitution keeps coming, and I think Tara Peterson into the game now. Peterson, a 5'7" junior, comes in to serve. Peterson, good strong serve, and Scotus unable to handle. That was 4 hits. I thought maybe it was, and there was some hesitation as to whether or not it was hit at the net. It was not. And so it will be side out Columbus Scotus, and Scotus will take a timeout. Kind of an unusual time to take a timeout.
I think he just wants to get his kids back collected. They're kind of getting out of position and that type of thing here on defense. I just think he wants them to settle down, okay, and play this 1 point at a time. These next 3 points are the toughest points to get here, so stay focused and stick with what we need to do here.
Grand Island Central Catholic won the first game 15-6, only the second game of the year, lost by Columbus Scotus. The second game, a very tough 15-9 victory for Columbus Scotus, but here in the third, Scotus has played very solidly and have a 12-6 lead. It's been a very fun state tournament to watch. We've had some good play today. The 5th of 6 championship matches here on NETV. Again, the crew doing a great job as Central Catholic's Kropp blocked at the net. And running it down is Peterson. Back to Kropp, who sends it across to Scotus. The set over on the left side and kept alive, however, by Kropp. Free ball for Scotus, but they have trouble on the receive. Now the set to Pfeiffer with the dink. And under the net was Grand Island Central Catholic. And it's back with a side out to Columbus Scotus, who lead at 12-6.
I'm not sure who they call that on there. I think he said Jenny Kropp, as she transitioned off, stepped under.
Wemhoff with the serve and gets the ace. And it goes 13-6. Scotus 2 points away from their second straight state title. Scotus has won one other state title back in 1990 as well, so they're looking for the school's third. But they're still 2 points away. But there's an ace. Again, 2 aces and some miscommunication in that back row by Grand Island Central Catholic. And again, Sharon Zavala cannot call timeout.
Here, get a chance to see that again. That's almost identical to the one before. The ball's landing right on the line. All the players are opening up to somebody else.
Where do you think Rhea Wemhoff will serve this? She goes other side, but hits the tape. So Wemhoff, after 2 aces, knocks it into the nets, and it's side out Central Catholic as they trail it 14-6. Casey Kogel looking for an opening on the other side. She's been a tough server and gets the ace here. She is a very good server. Again, a freshman.
She does a really nice job. She steps back there and really strikes the ball and has a nice flat flight on the ball. Comes at him at fast tempo.
A lot of people may remember her brother, C.J. Kogel, who was a prolific scorer in basketball for GICC last year. Oh, what a hit by Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer's been pretty quiet since the first game today, and is doing a nice job right here. Getting that long arm. You see she's reaching actually over top of those blockers.
Game and match point opportunity for Columbus Scotus. Central Catholic. Jenny Croft is blocked at the net. It's kept alive. And knocked into the net. And Scotus are the C1 champs. Columbus Scotus comes back from a first game loss and rallies to win the next 2 games, 15-9 and 15-7. Grand Island Central Catholic can certainly be proud of their performance here.
Here we get a chance again to see that game and match point. Good tough serves, first of all, by Scotus. Starts it off. Good block here set up. They block Crop outside. Just balls hit top of the tape. Great play by both teams tonight.
Grand Island Central Catholic is used to being in the title game. They're not used to losing very often. Again, they've I think this was their 10th time to the title game, and they had won 6 previous championships. But they have met this team 4 times, and now they're split. I wonder if the 2 will be back next year. However, Columbus Scotus is really going to lose a lot. I think actually Grand Island Central Catholic will have the advantage in that they'll have a lot more underclassmen back. But because the programs have been so strong, you wonder, you know, if Scotus will come back too. But they really lose. So Scotus will lose some just outstanding players.
And there were several 9th grade players, freshmen on the Grand Island Central Catholic team that got a great experience here. They're in the finals. They're playing and did a really nice job, and that's going to pay off for them in the long run, too.
This was their 4th straight state finals.
So now let's go to the Pershing Auditorium announcer, Barry Moore.
Their class's championship game 13 times in the last 15 years, and they've won 9 state titles. Columbus Scotus is ranked 13th in the nation this year. Please salute both these teams for what they've accomplished in their program. The Nebraska School Activities Association is delighted to have medals and trophies for both these outstanding teams. The runner-up team will be presented by NSAA Board of Control member Ray Ehlers of Lexington. The championship presenter will be Dennis Smith of Papillion La Vista. Here are the awards for Class C1 runner-up, Grand Island Central Catholic. Will the head coach and assistant step out toward the middle of the court to present the silver medals to each team member? Players, as your name is called, please come out to get your medal. Tracy Hemmer. Amy Janke. Kaylin Riley. Tiffany Peterson. Mara O'Donnell. Tara Peterson. Allison Urbanski. Sarah Stobie. Christine Medjo. Casey Kogel. Carol Wheat. Emily Pfeiffer. Heather Budd. Jenny Crop. All of you are welcome to receive the runner-up trophy for your school. Congratulations, Central Catholic High School. And now to the champions. First, Coach John Peterson, we have a special award for you. Now, Coach, hand out the gold medals to your championship team members. Sarah Kuhneman.
Just making a habit of these, huh?
Christy Korf.
That's the way to step up and play. That's the competitive I know that you are.
Nikki Jaswick.
I can't get around here. You never in doubt?
I can't breathe.
Jody Eichmeyer.
Great job. Good job. Good season.
Julia Brennan. Andrea Thorson. Steph Cruz. Heather Van Acken. Stacy Roshi. Holly Van Ackern. Carmen Burbach. Rhea Wenhoff. Julie Kuba. Audrey Pfeiffer. Unbeaten for 2 straight years. Now, for these outstanding athletes in their school, here's the 1996 Class C1 State Volleyball Trophy. Congratulations, Columbus Scotus.
Well, it was a little bit of a struggle for Columbus Scotus compared to what they're used to, but on the other hand, they're used to playing Grand Island Central Catholic, and they know they'll be in for a battle. But they lost the first game 6-15, but came back to win 15-9 and 15-7. And I think John Peterson is, you know, it's unfortunate that he has to have a sigh of relief, but because of the pressure of the streak and the fact they're nationally ranked, sometimes it's harder when you're expected to win.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's always gunning for you. If you're on the top of the charts, everybody wants to beat you, and that's you know, something that does create pressure, but it's again how they handle it, and the kids really handled it well. They came out and couldn't get in sync in that first game, but really hung in there until they got into a rhythm, and that shows why they have had this, you know, high rating. And John's very fundamentally sound, and I'm sure he doesn't focus a lot on those, you know, ratings and so forth. He's keen in on what his team needs to do and making sure that they're doing the things they need to be doing.
And as I said earlier, this group of kids also won a state basketball championship last year, and that's going to be their next goal. I mean, I'm sure they'll enjoy this, but they'll start focusing on that pretty quick, because there's quite a few of them also like to play a lot of basketball. But it's going to be interesting to watch the careers of these gals that go on to college, and we know probably, I'd say, at least 4 of them are going to play college sports of some type, and it'll be real interesting to see how they do. Again, coming up next, we're going to have a look at the Class B championship match between Lincoln Pius X and Omaha Daniel Gross. That should be a great matchup, as we'll cap off the 6th championship, the 6th and final championship match here on NETV. And we'll have more for you after this.
In a time when issues and events crowd our lives and personal concerns cloud our vision, public television reminds us that our world remains a place of endless wonder. That nature is not something outside of ourselves, but a part of who we are, how we live and learn. And public television's unparalleled lineup of science and nature programs gives every American the chance to celebrate the great spectacle of life on Earth, beneath the sea, and beyond the stars.
I think the first encounter with Jupiter really shocked a lot of people.
All we can say now is, wow, what a way to leave the solar system.
Public television takes viewers across the ever-widening seas of space and helps them gain a deeper respect for our own fragile planet.
Live from MIT.
America turns to public television to explore the wonders of nature and the changing nature of science, the impact that science has had on our collective history and our individual lives.
Archaeology involves botanists, it involves zoologists, it involves geologists.
For heaven's sake, that must be interesting.
Let's do rehearsal.
And you'll turn and give your look, okay?
Humanity is on the verge of another incredible voyage.
From the smallest molecule to the vastness of space, the beauty of burning deserts and barren lands of ice, the endless drama of survival, of predators and their prey, creatures out of dreams and out of time. Public television will always be America's single most important and accessible source of information and understanding about the world in which we live, the beauty that surrounds us, the mysteries waiting to be solved.
They are the most powerful objects in the whole universe we know of.
Babies are going to have all the neurons that they're ever going to have in life by 5 months gestation.
You are going to be a very happy person.
It's a journey that's both dangerous and mysterious.
To wonder, to explore, the never-ending story of public television.
As spring arrives, Western grebes get ready to pick their partners. For this is the time of year when they perform their water dance.
Monday night at 7:30 on Nebraska Public Television.
At Pershing Auditorium in Lincoln, where Columbus Scotus has won their 2nd straight Class C1 state championship. And with the winning coach, here's Kathy Wieskamp.
Hi, congratulations, Coach. First of all, on a great season. You've been touted as one of the top teams in the country. That's a pretty big honor.
Well, we've had a great year. The kids have played exceptionally well, and I don't know if tonight we played like that all the time, but you know, we've had a great year, and to beat Ground CC 4 times is pretty tough, and fortunately we got it done.
Yeah. We've talked about playing a team several times over and over. You never know what to expect. People change their game plan and come out. That first game, it seemed like you really couldn't get in sync.
Well, you know, they beat us about every aspect. I thought they passed better than we did. Therefore, their attack was much better. They blocked some shots. We couldn't get a block, and you know, everything they did was just a little bit tougher and a little bit better than we were.
What did you tell them after that first game? You've only dropped one game really all year. What did you tell them? How'd you get them back together?
Well, we said, hey, guys, you guys are great competitors. You've proved that over the last couple of years. You know, you're better than that, and it's just a matter we got to get back in sync. We got to take charge of the net a little bit. And we fortunately did that. I thought Carmen Burbach got it on a roll for us, and Audrey Pfeiffer did a great job. And finally, things started going our way a little bit.
Yeah, it seemed like about in the middle of the second game, too, you started serving a little bit tougher, too, creating some problems for them, not allowing them to use their offense as well.
Well, I think we're just really tentative, and which surprises me. I thought we'd come out and just play lights out, and we were. We're just a little bit tentative. We pass, or we serve very high and soft, and we said we got to bring it down a little bit. We got to get after them a little bit, and fortunately we're able to do that.
Do you think the kids felt the pressure coming into this with a perfect record? And you always know it's going to be a great match that you and you two teams get together, or did they just really just didn't get in sync?
I just don't think we got in sync, but I got to give Grand Island Central Catholic a lot of credit. I thought their kids played exceptionally well. They came out, they were swinging hard, serving tough. They did a great job of passing, and you know, they just totally outplayed us. I don't think we were tentative. These kids have been in a lot of situations, whether it be volleyball and basketball, the last couple of years just like this, and they've been able to pull through. I'm happy for them that they could come back and really compete like they did.
Well, congratulations, Coach. It's a tribute to you and your program.
Thanks, Kathy.
Here we are with a couple players. Hi, Carmen. Great game.
Thank you.
Really seemed like about in the second game you kind of came alive for your team.
Yeah, well, I knew we all kind of had to do that, and we knew that was our problem the first game, that nobody really stepped up and made a play for us, and so we all kind of took it upon ourselves to make sure that we were all making the plays we need to make.
After that first game, it seemed like you really couldn't get into sync. Were you guys kind of shocked? They came out very strong and aggressive against you.
Yeah, they did come out really strong. We know they're a great team, and we knew they had the capabilities to do that, and we just came out flat, and they outblocked us, and they, you know, out-hit us, and they outserved us. They just did everything better than we did, and until we got on a roll with things, we were just in too big of a hole to come out of.
You guys have a really balanced attack, several players, but again, it seems like you did some really nice things, appearing different places on the net, that created some problems for them. It's like they couldn't keep track of you.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. Serve, receive, in middle, and then I get to kind of swing and hit anything I want, or anything that Stacy tells me to. And it's also a lot of fun to have a 6'2" and a 6-foot middle in the middle that can put any ball down too. And our other outside hitter's just a great hitter too. So we are really balanced.
Well, I think it really complements too, and you really can help each other out in that situation because of that. Also felt you did a really great job when you got to the back row. People often say your front row is a strength. You got to the back row, you